Welcome to Conversations with Kay. I'm Kay Ryder, and every week I talk with Vermonters who are leaders in the fields of government, healthcare, education, the arts, and community life. Well, we're in the world of the arts. We're in the world of Girls' Night Out, and I'm going to talk with Janet Stambolian and Jennifer Warwick, and they're the co-founders of Girls' Night Out Productions, and they're producers of this fall's show, Smokey Joe's Café. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very Glad to have you here.
It's great to be here.
We'll be talking about Girls' Night Out and Smokey Joe's Café, but I'd like to ask you, why did you decide to start Girls' Night Out in 2010?
Well, I had actually seen Janet in a production that she was in, and at the end of the show I said, "You were wonderful," and she said to me, "We've got to do something, Jennifer." And I said, "I've got the show. I really want to do Steel Magnolias. There's a perfect part for you. I'm finally of age to play the part that I want to play." And she said, "Let's get this, let's do it." So Janet and I met, and we we actually precast everybody in this production, and asked a specific director, got the show rolling. And as we were, partway through the process, we thought we should create a theater company, and outbirthed Girls' Night Out Productions from that. And we decided that there was such a limited opportunity for women, and women of our age particularly, that we're like, let's have a focus on finding and producing great plays for women.
Right, great. What nice story. Now, where do your productions take place?
Our home base is the Waterfront Theater down at Main Street Landing Performing Arts Center. Melinda's been wonderful to us all these years, and it's a sweet theater. We have done every show there. Sometimes I wish we had a 400-seat theater, and but we don't. We have 135 seats, and we love performing there.
Well, it's a nice place. I mean, I've been there. You can hear well.
Yes.
I know that, which is very important.
You can hear well, and you can see well.
Yep.
Everything is visible. It's a wonderful space, and I think people look forward to it each fall.
Now you have a mission, obviously. You want to find roles for women, and that's now Steel Magnolias was perfect.
Yes,
because you had women of all ages in that.
We did,
and that was I love that production. Although I must say, I think I liked the movie better than the play.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but the movie could take you outside of the beauty shop.
Yeah.
So yeah,
right.
Yeah. Have you been in other Girls' Night Out productions since 2010, Janet?
We've each been in multiple shows, although we have kind of a policy of not, just casting ourselves all the time. We were both in Steel Magnolias, and then I was in the Hallelujah Girls, which was our second production, and then Jen was in.
I was in the Prima Donnettes.
Prima Donnettes, and I was in The Family of You, and then last year in Alumni Pie. Neither of us are in this particular show.
Well, being the producers, you can only do so much, right?
It's true.
Well,
right.
We also didn't want to be in we wanted to give a community, opportunity, other people in the community. We just can't always be featured in your own show.
Right, you have to be careful about that, don't you?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, if you're the founders, you have to.
Yes.
Oh, that role's perfect for me, but I'll let somebody else take it.
But we do have a casting clause saying that we're allowed to have a precast if it's something, if it's the right thing.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's probably good sometimes.
Yeah.
The other thing about our mission that I think is really wonderful and unique is that it is the production itself, all of the roles that need to get done to support the production. So it's the actors, and it's the behind the scenes. It's all of the sets and the costumes and lights, and I mean, there's just as you know, I mean, there's so many things that go into making a production come alive, and those are usually headed up by women, and most of our volunteers are women. Not all of them, but most of the people who are involved in the production are women, and so we have a wonderful niche, I think.
Great. Let's go back to you, Jen. What other productions were you in?
With Girls Night Out?
Yeah.
Well, Girls Night Out, just Steel Magnolias, and then the Prima Donnettes.
Okay.
I've done a lot of producing
She's
behind
a
the scenes.
producer extraordinaire.
And I do go out of Girls Night Out, and I perform in many other theater companies
Great,
as well.
great, good for you,
Yeah.
good for you. Yeah, now you mentioned the sets, so I have to mention my friend Ann Vivian,
Yeah.
She's a magician.
who's done sets for you.
Every single show, she has designed them and built majority of them. Yeah.
She's an architect by day, and I think somewhere in her, either in another life or just she has a real knack for set design. And so we've had elaborate sets, we've had simpler sets, we've had sets where there was virtually nothing but stools and music stands. When we did Love, Loss, and What I Wore, there was virtually no set. That was mostly done with lights, but all of the other sets that have required design, she's the one, and she's a very gifted woman.
And very patient.
Extremely patient. she has a lot of lay people working with her.
Yeah, she doesn't expect everything to be done at once.
Right.
And that's important.
She has a lot of patience, and she has an incredible sense of the kind of the methodology of getting things done correctly.
She has a great sense of humor.
Yes,
and
she does.
Yes, she does.
Absolutely.
We love to make her laugh.
Yeah.
I love to make
Tease.
her laugh.
Yeah.
She's fun to tease.
Yeah, she's an old. We don't talk about that. I'm an old friend of Ann's, so I know all about that too. Right? Yeah.
How far do you go back with her?
Oh Lord, 30 years.
Oh,
From now.
that qualifies.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's probably true.
No.
It is.
Anyway, I love the woman. Anyway, before and her husband, Doug Veman.
Uh-huh.
Doug is extremely creative. They've both done sets for the Lyric.
Yes,
Theater.
they have.
So they've done a lot for local productions.
They're great people.
Absolutely.
We couldn't do it without Ann, and then Doug's always there as a
Helping build.
supporter.
Oh yeah.
Move things.
Yep.
Yeah.
We need a little more brawn. Is there?
Just as wrong.
Well, he's just a great helper. He'll do anything that needs to be done.
Yes, he is.
Absolutely. Before I forget it, where would people go for tickets to Smokey Joe's Café? And I know you have a website.
We do have a website, girlsnightoutVT.com, and Nite is spelled N-I-T-E, so that's important. Tickets are through the Flynn, so flyntix.org, or is it 86 Flynn? So they can call, or they can go to the box office right on Main Street. We try and take care of tickets before the show, but there are sometimes tickets available at the theater the night of the show. But very little, very few, so that's a risk.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's good that you have few tickets left. That's always
We
nice.
have a very loyal
Following
now. After this many years and this many productions, I won't say that it's just we don't have to do any work, because we've worked hard to promote the show. We've worked very hard to promote it, and I feel good about what we've done. And when we send out a notice to the people who have bought tickets, they typically don't question, well, I wonder if I should go or not. They typically make sure they get tickets, which is wonderful.
Well, that's great. Now I'm coming to your show.
Thank you.
There you go. Anyway, your upcoming productions, Smokey Joe's Café. Now this is, when will this be on in Burlington?
We open October 6th and run the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and then we come back the second week, and it's the 12th through the 15th. We have 9 shows in all.
Okay. Matinees?
2 matinees, one the first week, one the second week.
And what day?
The 9th and the 15th?
Yeah, the 9th and the 15th.
Okay. Smokey Joe's Café is a little bit different kind of show for Girls' Night Out. Musical review, no dialogue.
No
No dialogue.
Lots of singing, lots of choreography.
Yep.
It's the music of Lieber and Stoller, who wrote for Elvis and the Drifters and the Coasters. And the interesting thing is that not everyone who's in the cast, there are 4 women and 4 men, And not everyone who's in the cast is of the age who listened to these when they were children.
Oh.
But they really love the music. And so that's the good news about this show. That's one of the good news, pieces of good news, is that even if you're not of the age of that you remember listening to it as a child or a teenager, you still can appreciate. Everyone's heard the songs and will recognize the vast majority of the songs.
Why did you decide to do this?
Well, this was my push. I had been wanting to do Smokey Joe's Café for a long time. I had seen it on Broadway back when it was on Broadway many years ago, and I was actually in a production in Middlebury about 10 years ago, 10 years ago. Yeah. And so I had been wanting to do it for Girls' Night Out, and I had to push pretty hard for it because it was a little bit out of our box. And the board did approve it, and we got a great director and a great choreographer and a phenomenal cast that came out. And I just love the show. It's highly entertaining. I said, we need to do some different kinds of things to keep our company fresh. And it's quite difficult to find plays year after year that are exactly tailored to our mission. So it's nice to branch out and have a few good men.
Yeah, now you have pop tunes, you have rock and roll, rhythm and blues. I mean, you really have a real variety of music. Are there some special tunes people should be waiting for? I'm waiting for On Broadway and Hound Dog.
Yeah. Hound Dog on Broadway, Jailhouse Rock.
Love Potion number 9.
I'm a Woman. Everybody knows that. That's a fabulous number.
Right.
Trouble with Don't.
Young Blood.
Stand By Me. People may not realize that happens to be a show from Lieber and Stoller. So a song from Lieber and Stoller. So that's a fabulous number that people will recognize.
But the interesting thing is that yes, we've done mostly plays, and that is our mission to find great roles for women. And so we've also done plays that are written by mostly by one woman who's written plays on her own, and then she wrote Alumni Pie for our company. Carol Vastafali is a brilliant playwright, and we feel very strongly about being able to support the efforts and the genius of local women playwrights, and so we feel just fabulous about having done. She did The Family of You. That was her play, and then she did the Alumni Pie, and we're in conversations with her about next year.
And she's directed. She directed.
She
the
did
Hallelujah Girls
direct the Alumni Hallelujah Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now, is she writing a new play? Did I hear that? Is
She just did a play of
Okay.
her own called The Seymour Sisters. That just closed last week. So
she may be writing a new play for us.
Oh,
for
that's
next year.
exciting.
we're hoping.
Yes, we're
hoping.
meeting with her next
That's
week.
exciting.
Yeah.
It's always
She's
wonderful.
quite a genius, and we're very blessed to have her in this community.
It's wonderful to premiere productions.
I know.
That's
It's a thrill.
Yeah.
Absolutely
It
thrill.
is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate at Girls' Night Out because when Love, Loss, and What I Wore was one of my all-time favorite productions as well that we've done, and very simple set, but we were the first theater company to have it out after it left Broadway. So that was a little bit of a coup for us.
And I think with this one, I think we're one of the last amateur companies to get Smokey Joe's before it goes back to Broadway.
Ah.
So that's a little coup for us as well.
That's wonderful.
It is.
Yeah, that's great. That's really great. Do other productions besides Girls' Night Out? Do you branch out and act in other shows?
Yes, I do. You do too.
I have, and that's actually how Jen and I started. I mean, as she said, that I was in Crossing Delancey, a little sweet little play done in Virgins, and I really like being in plays.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in lots of lyric musicals, and I've had wonderful, wonderful experiences in those, and Lyric is an amazing organization and has been very supportive to us in many ways over the years. I really like being in plays, and I really like doing comedy. I just feel really comfortable doing it, and there's really nothing in the world for me as an actor like standing backstage and listening to people in the audience having a great time laughing, or laughing when I'm on the stage. That's is really
Yeah,
is
right,
great too.
right.
I mean,
Yeah. Have you ever had an experience where you walk on stage and people start laughing before you've even said anything?
Yes, and I actually there had been a couple in Alumni Pie. There was one scene when I did come out with the proprietor of the guest house, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I have to say, I enjoyed it.
I've had multiple experiences with laughing on stage where literally don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But just
It happens, doesn't it?
yeah, it happens.
It happens. Yeah. Now, there's a lot been written lately about women in Hollywood, and they don't have good roles when they get to a certain age, and then they have troubles finding directors' jobs too. Now, why is it so important for women to be involved in the arts? What do women bring to the arts? What is special?
To me, what we bring and what is important is everyone wants to see themselves reflected in a different setting. And I think there's a certain power that comes to a person when they can identify with someone who's doing something that's fictional, but it relates to them. And they can learn from it and gain strength from it. So there's that part. And I also think that because women outnumber men in this society, the theater-going public is predominantly women. But the jobs for women in theater, and I think film's even worse, but the jobs for women, it's like 10% of the jobs, producers, directors, designers, all of those are men. So I think as society changes and as women gain more power and more prominence, there's going to be more of a demand for them to see themselves represented in all aspects of the creative arts. And it's happening. I think things are changing as we speak. So it's not as good as it will be, and it isn't as bad as it used to be. Although you mentioned that back in the 40s, there were whole orchestras with women. I mean, those things might come back, and I think that it's just important for women to see themselves represented.
Absolutely. What would you like to add to that, Jen?
I think Janet summed it up. I do think she said that women make up most of the audience. Women are, what was the percentage?
I think it's 75% of the theater-going public.
Theater goers are women. So, women like the theater, and they encourage their, husbands to go to the theater, and yet still it's a male-dominated industry. But, I think things are changing, and I think, if people do what we did by saying, it's not out there, let's create it, and let's do it ourselves. The more people that do this, the more the industry is going to change. If we want to be on stage, we need to make those opportunities for ourselves.
Right, making your own opportunities. Now, I think this is a very, very interesting topic because a lot of male actors I have admired, but they seem to go on and on and on. Their gray hair and their wrinkles make them, quote, distinguished, end of quote. And then women, as they age, as we all do, suddenly they are not marketable, if you will.
Right.
It's a youth culture, and that's what we're all fighting, if you will.
That's one of the reasons why someone like Carol Vest, I really want to see her work produced outside of the state of Vermont. She's got that ability to write authentic roles for older women, and it's good stuff. It's really good material.
It is wonderful stuff, but back to what your point. Unfortunately, beauty is perceived to be a youthful thing, and beauty sells, sex sells, and so as you age, you're not so desirable. So there you go. That's how the trend follows.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's the bottom line.
Well,
Yeah.
it is.
And then there's Maggie Smith.
And then, well, you have these pockets. You still, you still
Yeah.
need people, but they're not drawing. They're drawing in a sliver of the pun. It's not.
Right, sliver of roles, yeah.
But we
Right.
don't really know because there haven't been as many opportunities. We don't know if there were as many plays and movies featuring older women, whether it's film or theater. We don't know how popular they would be because we haven't seen them. So I think that the work is to get the material out there and trust. I mean, yes, we live in a youth-obsessed culture. No one disputes that. And there is a move to also feature and highlight women who are older, and it's hard to do because the material isn't as good. But the respected elders among us are going to push and are going to continue to push, and women who are my age are going to continue to want to see themselves reflected in the creative arts.
Then there's Meryl Streep.
And then there's Meryl Streep.
Now, how does she? I mean, she's amazing.
She is a goddess.
That woman
I mean, if there was one person in my life who I want to meet, it's Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
She's amazing. She can do everything.
Yeah.
She has an amazing singing voice. She's a comedian. She's a dramatic actress. I mean, ask Jen. I do go on about Meryl
Yeah.
Streep.
Well, she's the woman is absolutely amazing.
Well, and then there are others in her. There are others who don't get the roles. Meryl Streep. Not everything that Meryl Streep has done has been awesome.
A home run,
Right.
no.
Right.
But she also is an advocate for
that's
the
good.
aging woman.
That's
and,
good.
And that's important. And,
Yeah.
and more women are standing up.
That's right.
So.
Yeah. Well, we need more women supporting women. I've felt that way for a long time, and the arts is one place where you really have an opportunity to do that. I think. Yeah, and I think that's really great. Now, what do you like best about being a producer of Smokey Joe? What's the best thing about that?
I think I like being a producer more than you like being a producer.
I mean, I just want to be on stage. I just want to be on stage. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to be on stage all the time. If I could do nothing else, I would just want to be on stage. Because I can't be on stage every single time, I think Jen and I we have a wonderful team. Andrea Wolga has helped incredibly on this production, doing our program and helping us. There's a certain concrete sequential nature to producing, tasks that need to be done, aspects of the production that need to be attended to. And Jen and I have a great rhythm of doing that, right? We have
yeah, we do have a great rhythm. I'm a taskmaster. I like to have, unlike Janet, who just wants to be on stage regardless, I like to pick and choose my roles. I want a role to call to me, and that's when I would want to do a role. But I like producing because I like putting the whole piece together. I like finding the right people for the right job, and then making sure that it's all, the tasks are getting done. So I have the overall tasks, and then I make sure that their tasks are getting done. And then Janet and I, what an odd couple we are. But we actually really do, we have our beats are followed with each other. She handles certain things, I handle certain things that I'm good at it, and that just keeps us rolling along. So really, we need each other to keep Girls' Night Out going.
The producing piece is like a puzzle. It is an absolute puzzle, from raising money to selling ads to getting the set design. I mean, all of the things, the costumes, the sets, the lights.
And making sure everyone is happy.
Making sure everyone is happy, making sure everyone does what they say they're going to do when they're going to do it. There's a project management aspect to it, which I'm familiar with from my own background. I'm familiar with that kind of concrete sequential piece. So I can do it. We both have a left brain, right brain mix in
We do.
each of us,
That's
good.
which
We
is a
do.
good thing. I think we have a pretty solid creative streak, and we also have that left brain, at the left brain skills that you need to put on a good show.
And we
Right.
like each other.
And then there's the part that we really like each other.
we like each
Well, that helps.
Yeah.
I would think that if you weren't congenial, I would think it would be a mess, but that's...
Yeah.
There are times.
We've had our moments. We have had our moments.
Right,
We certainly
right,
have
right,
had our
right.
moments.
But we both like to be in homeostasis.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, that's a good word. Anyway, interesting word. Now look, we don't have a lot of time left here, but you know, what is the best thing about Girls' Night Out itself? What is the best thing about that?
community of women, bringing women together who
true.
really love doing what we're doing. I mean, that's why they're drawn to us. If they see auditions or if they want to get involved, they're coming to us. So it's all fitting, it all fits together, and we do have this wonderful community of women and friendships and fun. And, you know, it's more than Girls' Night Out. You know, the name is more than a theater company. It's about playing together. It's about women getting together to going to see theater for their Girls' Night Out of fun. So it's about the community.
And actually, the theme of Smokey Joe's Café is all about the neighborhood, and so the fact that that show is going up in the context of our theater community, which we have here in Girls' Night Out, is totally fitting. And even though the majority of the people who come to our shows are women, we are an equal opportunity theater company.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we totally love it when fellas come to our shows.
And I will just, tack on to that, Smokey Joe's Cafe is for the whole family. Men are going to love it.
Good. Yep.
All ages are going to love it.
Yep.
Bring the kids.
Yeah, it's really
bring
it's
them
true.
because they're going to get a little history of rock and roll, a little
Yep.
education of the foundation of rock and roll, of where our music has come from. And it's fast moving and it's electrifying show.
Right.
So
Well, I'm sure it is. I wish you great success.
Thank you.
I'm glad you could come. And for our audience out there, this is an opportunity to take everybody. Have a good time. And go to Smokey Joe's. I'm going to go. And blessed luck to Girls' Night Out. And thank you for joining us on Conversations with Kay.